back to the channel, or welcome in general, with your host, The Shy Guy. Kickstart Eurostar Beats, Episode 3, Eurobeat Masters, Volume 1. I have decided that as much as I'm going to go through the Beat Freak label, introducing each of the different album series it has, so you would be, taken past into the very early structures of Eurobeat, I haven't decided to do all of them all in one block because I know that it's not going to get much engagement from the audience as a whole. So I figured that maybe I would get up to maybe do one Beat Freak, one mainstream, and another Beat Freak, and then another mainstream, and then go on to the labels as a whole. So today we have Eurobeat Masters with Delta, and you might want to skip the next few seconds if you're a follower in the series. Brief introduction about the series, about my series, about Kickstart Eurostar Beats. It's series 1 on the blogging series of the Shy Guy reviewing Eurobeat. Here's how I'll be reviewing it. It's a 1 to 5 star ratio, no half stars, of how vibrant a song can get, plus additional comments on how an album is in general, each individual song, and the cover art itself, which we do need to be discussing. Also, depending on how long a series is or how many songs are in that album, I might be obliged to review more than one album in a video, so we can really define or encourage you to take this path into Eurobeat. Introduction to this Delta series. And Delta has 2 album series in its label, but we'll cover the first one today. So the date released for Volume 1 is the 14th of January 2008, and this series has been going on for 21 volumes, and all 21 volumes have been remastered for 2020. So Volume 1 was remastered on the 12th of May 2020. How popular do I think it is? Well, everybody knows Delta. DMI, Delta Music Industries. That's fairly obvious, and they do handle most of the Initial D soundtrack. But in terms of album series itself, maybe they wouldn't know this, unless it's the cover art for thumbnail on one of the topic channels. That's how I learned his existence. So, any facts? Or anything else? Well, it was called Eurobeat Masters, but from Volume 16 onwards to Volume 21, it was called Newfield Moroney Productions present Eurobeat Masters, insert your volume number. Delta, also known as Delta Music Industries or DMI, is a Eurobeat label founded by Clara Moroney, Laurent Gelmetti, and Andrea Leonardi, or as we know, Brett Sinclair, in 1995. They are also known for making the Delta Ultimate Collections, insert your artist names. Leslie Parrish, the Vicky Vale one that just come out, the Daniel one that just come out as well. They also have a Marco Polo one, Max Caverai, Ken Blast, and last but not least, the Kevin Johnson one. Oh, and Cherry. So, ratings of the songs. Discuss who sung it, labels maybe. No, we don't need to discuss the label, it's entirely run by Delta. Any other notes, and star ratings. So, let's get into this. First up, we have Max Caverai and Golden Age. 3 stars out of 5. Maurizio De Giurio, 1997. At this rate, I should probably do a video on how I got into Eurobeat. Maybe for the 50th video or 100 subscribers, I'll do that video. But for now, I'll just be rather vague. Max Caverai is my first Eurobeat alias. Running in the 90s, as we all know, is probably the most popular song under the alias. And I learned about this song through Pretty OK's playlist, which to me is the perfect starting point for gatekeeping and an introduction to Eurobeat, even though it's the Initial D soundtrack. But whatever, because I'm just trying to tie the 2 communities together. For my first listens, I can remember this song being funny. The lyrics, that is. However, the effects have worn off slightly, as this was overplayed a lot. So now it doesn't quite hit the same. I don't think I probably hit the song for maybe a good year or so, but it just got lost in the Initial D phrase. Oh, and P.S to Initial D itself, I hate it so much on where this song is used. Takumi versus Takeshi, battle stage. Yeah, that feels just so random. It doesn't even fit with any of the characters or any purpose of the race as a whole. Anywho, the song itself, before I ramble off too much. As mentioned, the lyrics are funny. The verse at least. The intro is rather memorable before it comes in with its thumping beat of the signature Delta mark. Pre-chorus is rather memorable. It has a nice flow. It has a nice build-up. In fact, it's bringing in its nostalgia right now. Yeah, for me, this is a dance song. Or at least a song to show off the future with absolutely no vibe or mentioning of racing whatsoever. But I like how it's a good introduction to Maurizio in general. That's if you come from the running in the 90s door, like me. Because, topic-wise, both of the songs are rather similar. Unlike Max Cavarai's other songs sung by Maurizio. Although if anything, for starting off this album, I probably wouldn't pick this song for the first introduction of the series, but maybe in a way I would, because Max Cavarai with Maurizio singing is kind of underrated, as most people would know Mara Farina singing under the alias, and this other guy that I can't remember, but you get the picture. Track number 2 with Denise and Emotional Fire, 4 stars out of 5. Clara Moroni, 1996. For me, it's another biased review. I mean, just look at the star rating. But no, it's a song that's in my personal playlist for those dark, depressing nights, for trying to push yourself to the limits in terms of driving. And it's a song that was used beautifully in Initial D. Takumi vs. Mako, battle stage, despite the scene being cut so short and just focusing on C121, I think it was called, turning. For me, I would say that Denise is a rather underrated alias when it comes to Clara's work. If anything, Leslie Parrish, Vicky Vale, Cherry, and Priscilla are probably the most well-known ones. And if anything, Denise does make music much like Leslie Parrish, and as one described in a YouTube comment that I fortunately can't find at the moment and I was going to share with you, but I remember they described it as final boss music, which I can't really deny. The song itself is about some kind of heartbreak, but she still wants him in her life, or the fact that she can't forget about their time together. So that's that. If anything, it does kind of fit the role nicely of Mako and Aiktani, at least from what I remember in Initial D. Strong melodies, strong chorus and verses, and has an intense racing vibe, especially if you are in a similar situation. Also, the very ending of the song, absolutely giving you the Shudder vibe of Goosebumps. Fun fact for me actually, looking at the lyrics now, I don't tend to, because why ruin the magic? I didn't know it was burning love, burning love. I always thought it was buckle up, buckle up. But then apparently that's due to the fact of broken English, which I've never really understood about Eurobeat. But still, buckle up does actually sound a lot better than burning love, burning love. But burning love makes sense because emotional fire, but buckle up, buckle up. You gotta get out from my dreams. Track number 3, Mako and Kiss to Kiss. Also 4 stars out of 5. Kind of thinking between 3 or 4 stars. Fernando Benini, 1996. Fernando, and the powerful lyrics he's always got within his songs. I know, everyone was confused by the moaning at the start of the song, but to be fair, they didn't really surprise me. I also want to briefly mention that I do have my own dance routine made up for this, but unfortunately it's a 2-player game to play. Not sure if this is used in Initial D, but correct me if I'm wrong. Although I can never really grasp the true meaning of this song, as you have Kiss to Kiss I Love You, and Kiss to Kiss I Hate You, I do have to say that the contrast within the lyrics of the song is rather fascinating, and just adds another level of ideas in order how to tackle / use the song. For a song with 4 stars, I don't really have many words, surprisingly. Wait, no. Actually, to me, I wouldn't have actually believed you if this was a track made by Delta. Track 4, Morris, Crazy for Your Love, 4 stars out of 5. Maurizio De Giulio, yet again, in 1997. Samples from Dr. Love's Dr. Love song, with me often getting them confused from time to time. Though then how can you? This track is bold, impactful, and somewhat depressing and gloomy. Compared to Dr. Love, of course. But do I really think that Crazy for Your Love should have been under the Morris alias? Because for me, it more or less feels like a Casanova one. And if anything, I'm always thinking that this is under the Casanova alias by Maurizio. Because to me, if anything, to me, right, Morris feels like a miscellaneous alias. But there's other songs being Go Say Go, Go Say Gold, Go Save Goal, Destination Unknown, Bad Tonight, and Still Love You All, although this alias was more or less continued under Brad Sinclair than Delta itself, despite the fact that Crazy for Your Love sounds insanely like a Delta production, or at least an early sounding Sinclair style, even though he doesn't even own this song, or Bad Tonight, he owns the rest of them as mentioned. But still, it sounds like a standard Maurizio song, being crazy about love and love in general. This is a song I would recommend for the initial D lot, in order to encourage them into Eurobeat more, regardless if it's in initial D or not. I don't actually think it is, but I feel like some similar titled song is. And yeah, I can't keep track of what's in or not in the soundtrack. But I would definitely recommend this to the initial D fans because, as most songs are about heartbreak and all that, it definitely does fit the initial D vibe to some extent. And besides, what's not to like of Maurizio? Like one of the biggest artists in Eurobeat as a whole. Track number 5, Delta Queen's My Bandido. Still can't pronounce that one. 1 star out of 5. Great duo by Clara Moroni and Elena Ferretti, 1995. Upon seeing the title, I know it's a song I don't like, and I can't really seem to think why. I think maybe because seeing it in Super Eurobeat Volume 65, I got excited for seeing Delta for the first time. But for me, this doesn't deliver much. And if anything, 1995, it's got to be one of the earlier works. I mean, it's a fun song, and as I learnt in the Best of Super Eurobeat 2022, bandido means bandit in Spanish. And even if I'm a sucker for crime, thrillers, bad guys, no, this just doesn't scream anything crime related, sneaky or bad villains. The lyrics are there in the opening lines to each of the verses, or more or less the introduction lines. It says, "You're a danger, you're a stranger, but I want to share my life with you." But for me, the melody throws me off, and I have a hard time trying to be engaged. But wait, hang on. So the lyrics are actually about dancing with a bandit, it seems? Yeah, hot lyrics. Hot lyrics. Lyrics that I can actually probably relate to. But a disappointment in the melody. That's just the only thing. Sorry, Delta. Maybe if it sounded in Spanish with a kick of sneakiness, this one could work better. But I think at this rate, I think only High Energy Attack can pull this one off. Track number 6 with Madison and Don't Let Me Down. 2 stars out of 5. Antonella Malone, 1996. Don't leave me, please don't leave me. A feeling we all know, right? No? Well then, lucky you. Please hold me tight, give me your heat. Make me feel your lovely heartbeat. Don't say goodbye, don't leave me here. You're the one that took off my fear. I don't think Madison is a well-known alias. And by that I mean I've never really heard anyone spoke about her. And yeah, guilty conscience, I do actually forget that this alias exists. Until she appears in the Super Eurobeat compilations, then I go, oh yeah, Madison, we remember her, and the song No, we don't remember any of her songs, unfortunately, either. Oh, good lord, I'm so sorry. This for me is a standard Delta production. Impactful and about love as per usual. In the way that the song is sung too. In fact, Madison actually kind of reminds me a little bit like Clara. And when it comes to her aliases, Leslie Parrish being, dramatic, impactful, and depressing somewhat as well, I think Madison is a somewhat similar style, taste, and so forth. But Antonella herself, I've never heard of her. Her voice isn't as deep like Clara's, but it's a good variety to have within your artists, and she's still got quite a powerful voice, I have to say. Not much, unfortunately there's not really much I can say about this song. For me, it's a background song that I would just have in my playlists and listen to when I do my work. There's nothing really significant to me that would stand out that I would actually take the time to invest with in this song. But hey, at least it's a good enough song to be in my playlist, so that's actually something, despite it being 2 stars. Track 7, Dr. Love, Dr. Love. 4 stars out of 5. Fernando Bonini, yet again, and 1996. This is the alias that has made me explore Fernando's work. And by that time, I mean Dr. Love's work. Until I found out the truth of Eurobeat, with it just being one artist and 50 names that they all go under. And as much as we all know Dr. Love, Don't Stand So Close to Me, Max Power, State of the Nation, and the song Eurobeat itself, which is by Brad Sinclair, we also got the really unknown songs such as Bad Connection, She Bangs, Power of Desperation, and Rock Beat Power. You're welcome for stating his catalogue. But Dr. Love, again, to me at least, I wouldn't have believed it was a Delta track. Unlike Don't Stand So Close, which sounds a lot more significant to the Delta style. And State of the Nation, for that matter. But what does it matter too much? The song is absolutely bonkers, and it doesn't get better than that. No, seriously, you actually really should check out the lyrics to this song. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Long story short, it's a man who is madly in love, and it's like he wants to break the curse. So he's asking Dr. Love if he can help him. Dr. Love writing a song about Dr. Love. Writing a song about himself. Track 8. Leslie Parrish, Killing My Love. 4 stars out of 5. Clara Moroni, 1996. For some reason, some part of me keeps thinking this is Priscilla track. But I think that's me getting it confused with Love is in Danger, which is somewhat similar in some style to some extent. That intro before the Eurobeat kicks in, after the title was said, and that suspension, oh yes, you know you're in for a ride with Leslie Parrish. I don't think there was much to explain. I don't think there really is much to explain here, is there? The initial D community love it. I don't know if the Eurobeat side does. But for a quick summary, it's aggressive, impactful, heartbreaking, and such a goddamn suspenseful melody each time the lyrics drop. Please be careful when driving to this. It's a song about toxic relationships, where I can assume we've all been in one of those situations. I feel you, and I'm sorry. It shouldn't happen to any of us. We're all human after all. One thing I want to add is that the extended version is rather long. Too long. And it gets a little bit repetitive with the lyrics and the arrangement of repeating the verses and the choruses and pre-choruses over and over again, which is kind of a little bit sad to hear. But I love the song, just not the extended cuts. Track number 9 now, Zaza, Love and Money, 2 stars out of 5. Clara Moroni, yet again, she's practically everywhere. She owns Delta, so that makes sense. Antonella Malone, yet again, 1996. Honestly did not know that Zaza was a collaboration, but it is in a group part of Discogs page. I like the 1990s intro. It feels like a Nintendo game, or at least like some form of racing Nintendo game. I'm not entirely thinking about Mario Kart Wii, but that's the sort of vibe that I'm getting from it. But then, I don't like anything else about this song. Maybe the chorus, but there's nothing really else. Yes, it's used in Initial D, Keisuke-san versus Takashi, but nah. Nothing else for a song that screams the 1990s. Track 10, and we got 2 more to go. Doki Doki, Sing Na Na Na. 2 stars out of 5. Clara Ramone, 1999. Looking at the title of the song, I immediately said, sing song, na 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 na, before saying, is that this song? Turns out the intro gave me a solid deny, and it actually goes, sing na na, sing na na, singing na na na, sing na na na. That wasn't said in the melody because I forgot how the song went, so forgive me for that one. So now I'm wondering where in the hell did my version of this song come from? And I actually hope that it's not from my brain and it's actually from a song. Maybe it's from one of Clara's other songs, but I don't know. But if you know it... However, this is a sweet little song and about wanting to sing, and the pleasure you can gain from singing. So I have no problems. Not a song I would personally sing along to, though I like the lyrics, the melody, and the catchiness that the chorus has. Except I couldn't remember the chorus, so that was a lie. So yes, good on you for that. Classic Delta style and classic Clara style. I would say that this is a pretty fairly underrated song. Track 11, Susie Lazy and Tell Me Baby. 2 stars out of 5. Clara Ramone, 1997. Another 1990s intro. These are really fun for the spirit to be born in 2000. Though this feels very close to a Sinclair style, close enough in terms of the melody, and a little bit in the pre-chorus, chorus as well. Susie Lazy is an alias that has been continued by Brad Sinclair, so I can understand why. Also, you can guess what the song is about by the title, which I think is a neat move, and it's easier to hear the lyrics, and that's all I really have to say for this song, to be honest. And last but not least, track number 12. Instead of 13, we have 12 tracks, because even numbers are better than odd numbers. That's not actually right psychologically, but yes. Sarah, Wonderland. It was actually 2 stars out of 5, but now it's 3 stars out of 5. Sarah or Sarah, I don't know, but I've always been pronouncing it as Sarah. Zara Rieto, 1997. Sarah, as we all know, Burning Up For You, that is used in Initial D. If you do like that song that is used in Initial D, then I actually do suggest that you should check out her other works. For myself, I sometimes wonder if this is a Christmas song. Either way, it's in my seasonal Eurobeat playlist. Links down in the description for that. You should at least be checking that one out. Christmas songs, Halloween songs, Valentine's Day songs, summer songs, and we even got exclusively rain songs. Despite the fact that it doesn't say Christmas in its title, though suggesting Wonderland, and Christmas is nowhere near mentioned at all, the song gives off a cold winter vibe with rosy cheeks, hot chocolate, and feeling merry. Although let's just take a look at the lyrics. Take me to the Wonderland, take me anywhere you want to go. Take me to the Wonderland, I just can't go on living without you. Take me to the Wonderland, take me anywhere you want to go. Take me to the Wonderland, I just can't go on alone. Take me to the Wonderland. I guess in a relationship, each person takes you to a new and special place. Much like the whole, find my happy place, and then you start meditating. And if there is such a thing as a Wonderland she describes within a relationship, well, wowzers, yeah, I want to go. But god damn it, now have I been thinking of an animation in order to express what I see and feel when I hear this song. But at least it's like a safe for work song, because if it was a not safe for work song, you would probably be suggesting the whole Cloud9 factor. And if anything, Hybrid Mix should do a song about Cloud9. But let's bring it back around to the safe for work thing. You're in a winter scenario. I wonder even how you would even have to cheer that when it comes to a happy place. Would a couple meet in winter at like a Christmas market? Or German Christmas market for that matter? Maybe you first met in the winter. Or maybe you had some form of emotional breakdown argument and you made up in a wonderland, and then you know everything was gonna be alright, and it's a really, really romantic makeup, and then you think about that and you think about, yes, he truly is the one for me. He is the most caring person, he's a passionate person, he's romantic, and it's just me and him and this whole world together. Eurobeat songs make me go soft. Oh, but do I think it's a good song to round off the volume, as that seems to be a trademark I'm making? Oh yes, definitely. So now it brings me to the additional comments. And unfortunately I do feel like I have rushed this review quite a bit, and I apologize if I have. It's a good introduction to the label, at least showing you different artists and different styles, only slightly. But my only concern is to maybe change up the theme of songs. Don't have too much heartbreak ones, or too much romance ones. Maybe have a dancing song or two, and you're good to go. Though other than that, I would recommend it before you want to take a dive down Delta's mid/late 1990s catalogue. And if anything, when it comes to exploring labels itself and its catalogues, the fact that they have these album series so you can break it up volume by volume instead of going straight down the entire catalogue all in one go is a great way to go. So overall, I have been thinking of rating this a 3 out of 5. But then now that I'm reviewing my script for about the second time, I think I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it, comment down below, yada yada yada. Next video I will be releasing, I think at the top of my head, will be episode 4 of the Kickstart Eurostar series. We will be going back into the Beat Freak. However, with episode 5, we will be going back into Delta, and I think that episode 5 will be rather interesting, at least. I hope you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please do let me know if there's any other forms of, constructive criticism you want to give, or any pointers you want to give. Also, do let me know. We are currently into episode 3, and I do have the next 20 of them so planned out, and I just want to know if it's actually worth doing what I want to do. Stick around for the content to come.